Hi Year 10, so I'm just going to quickly show you how to use your graphics calculator to solve a quadratic. So what you need to do is on your calculator, go to calculator page. So if you're not sure still how to do that, press the home on button and then go to the one here, the grey button at the bottom that has the times, divide, plus and minus symbol. And that will create a new page for you. The other option is you can go to the scratch pad and the calculate. Two ways, they both have the same functionality. Now to solve a quadratic, what you need to do is you need to go to your menu. So on your keypad, press menu. You then want algebra, so number 3, and then you get 3 options here, and we're going to go to the third option, polynomial tools. And then when we're into this section, we're going to go to find roots of a polynomial, the first one. That will open up this lovely little box here. When it says degree, what that means is what is the highest power of your polynomial. So because we're looking at quadratics, we're going to leave that as a 2. Because the highest power we have is a 2 in a quadratic. Leave the roots as real and press OK. This next box will come up, and this is where we're going to put our information. So you can do this for any quadratic. So I'll show you a couple of options of what could happen. So let's say we got x squared plus 2x minus 2. The number that goes in the top box is the value in front of the x squared. So in this case, it's going to be a 1. The next box is the value in front of the x. So I'm going to say 2. And then the last one is the constant, the number that's on its own, and I'm going to say minus 2. Click OK, and it comes up here, and then you can double check here that your quadratic is what it needs to look like, and then just press enter. And here you go, it solves it for you. Now be aware this calculator doesn't give your answer with surds, so which is fine for the IB. You would just need to round these two answers to 3 significant figures, but there are your 2 solutions. So you've got negative 2.73 and 0.732. Okay, let's have a look at another one. So we're going to go back into our quadratic solver. So menu, algebra, polynomial tools, find roots of a polynomial. Once again, we leave that as it is. Now in here, we're going to do the x squared minus 4x plus 6. So number in front of the x squared will be 1. In front of the single x, minus 4. And then the value on its own, I said, was positive 6. Press OK. Double check here that that all looks correct. X squared minus 4x plus 6. Excellent. Press enter. Now my solutions come up like this with curly brackets and nothing in it. And what that means is that there are no solutions. So to this quadratic, there are no solutions, which is why you get a bracket, an answer that looks like that. Don't think that that's wrong. It just means there's no solutions. And we're just going to do one more. So if I went to, once again, menu, algebra, polynomial tools, and solver. In here, we're going to do an x squared, and I'm going to do plus 4x plus 4. So there's my quadratic. Press enter on here, and you'll see I get 2 answers, but they're both the same. So that means there's one solution because you've got the same answer in your brackets there. So there are 3 ways you could get your answers. So that's the first way you can solve a quadratic on your calculator. The other way is to do it by a graph. So what I want you to do is go back to your home and either click on the graph on the scratch pad or do a graph, the little graph at the bottom in the blue box, and it will open up graphing software for you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put in a quadratic. So let's do the first one I did, which was we're going to type in x squared plus 2x minus 2. Okay, we don't type the equals 0, we're just going to have what the function is. Press enter and your calculator will graph that for you. Now remember, when we're finding the solutions to a quadratic, we are finding the x-intercepts, where this graph touches the x-axis. Now once we've got this, we can analyze this graph and it will tell us those points for us. So we can go menu, and then here got analyze graph. And the top one says 0, so that is going to tell us where our x-intercepts are. Where does this function equal 0? You click that. Now it comes up with this dotted line. Now you see, if I cover the whole graph, it only gives me one solution. So to do this, the easiest way is just to do it twice. So do one, there you go, and if you can click this and drag it and move it, and then we can do that process again. So menu, analyze graph, go to 0, and now make that dotted area, shaded area go over the second intercept, and it will bring that for you. And you see here, just as we did before, we've got negative 2.73 and 0.732 as our solutions, which matches what we did before with the polyroots. So that's another way you can also solve it. There's a few different ways on here. We can do trace and things like that, but I think they're the two most valuable ways. So you can choose which way you would like to solve it.